Hello, this is Andreas and Heidi from Hyperspace Connection. About a year ago we had a session done where we connected to Dolores Cannon, and we thought it's going to be a great time to do that again and to figure out if there has been some changes or shifts, opinions, observations of her about the time that we are in right now. So I prepared a few questions. I didn't know about it. And we went through our regular procedure to go into trance and then have the session done. I had my questions prepared, and of course there's more information that came through. So I will probably, I don't know now right now, I will probably have a few videos done because everything together is too long, and we know that it's hard to listen to all that stuff in a long video, so I'm gonna probably make different ones, and this, when you hear this will be the first one, so I can inform you about that. But I want you to know, you have to be warned, okay? So we connected to Dolores, and we believe that we and have a certain knowledge that we did, but it always has to be taken with a grain of salt, at least the information that comes through. So there will be information that you might don't like, okay? And I'm talking about all the QHHT family. So what we are trying to do is to be open for what's coming, to not to judge it, but to have the courage to share that knowledge that we are gaining through the session. And like I said, there may be a few things that you won't like, and that's okay. But I would say try to listen what came through, because there's not just information about the event and New Earth, there's as well information that she's supposed to say to all of you, especially the practitioners. So you may gain some information that is helpful for your session. So yeah, without further ado, let's go into it. And remember, I probably can make some videos, clips that you can follow what happened in that very interesting and beautiful session. Well, see you then. Bye bye. Well, thank you very much. I think that's good for today and for all the related information. Before we part, is there anything that you would like to say, Dolores, to our community, more the QHHT community and others that are working in that way? A last word that you find would be important for that time that you're in right now.
I feel her now. She's extremely happy. She has no idea of what has been created, and she's very proud of so many people. She had never have thought it would blow up so much, that so many people would be interested in her work. And it's almost as though she might not have even wanted that in some ways. But now that she sees what's happening, she's very proud. She just has some concerns. And she doesn't want the work that she has manifested here on this earth to go into a different direction. So I think what she means by that is that she wants it to be authentic work. There's too much stuff she's seeing right now that she feels there needs to be more knowledge, she says. She wished she could have gave that more when she was here on maneuvering the sessions. We all, she says, have ways of doing certain things, creating it in our own way. And that's what she was trying to do when she was here, but now she sees that there's different ways of bringing out the best in sessions. And one of them is really enforcing the therapist to work within them and get the healing they need. And even though some of them feel like they're in their highest good, everybody always needs work, she says. It's don't give up on that. Don't allow yourself to feel like you're high and mighty. And that can be an ego thing, she says, when you start doing many clients and you lose yourself. And the most important thing is you and nobody else. Do not lose yourself in that. It feels good. And sometimes when that feeling comes, the ego comes in and tries to control certain things. And if you feel like that client is not meant to have a session, if you're not the right person, you need to let them know. This has nothing to do with turning someone down or not making somebody happy. It would be it'd be a harmful thing to take in a client who you feel that you would not be the right match just because of selfishness. So it's important, she says, that when you connect with someone that you know within yourself, that don't go doing a session when you have stuff going on, and even if it was yesterday, even if you have to cancel it, it is going to be very devastating for you and the client. So what she says is that keep doing the work, keep learning. She's not there now in body, but she can be there in thoughts. So she said, just call out her name. Even if you feel that you have to call out her name in the session, it's okay. A lot of you do it in your mind and ask for me to come. If you need to do it in a session, maybe where the client even knows who I am. If the client wants to know more about me, I'm not comfortable about them working. They have to be centered within themselves. And the information that comes through with anything, that person has to really understand the outcome. Because if information comes through and that client comes out of the session, there can be lots of confusion going on. And then they go back to their life and they're even more confused. Do you see the outcome of this? That's why it's important that you cannot do every client that calls you, that contacts you. You have to find out where they are, what they want, the reason for it. Maybe somebody wants to come in and wants to know about the future. Well, how's that client going to know about the future when that client still has stuff that's disconnected from them? It doesn't work that way. And it's a long process. And there's many good therapists out there, and that's what I am so proud of. And I thank you for bringing this work out that came to me. It was a knowing that I had. And now, as I sit and watch, I sit back and I observe everything that's around me.
this short segment will show you Heidi after the session, and what we often do is we want to have a wrap up when she's awake, because there's usually some information that comes through that we are either not addressing, or we forget about it, we lose the connection to the information because there's so much that's going on. So I was asking her to give us a short wrap up about what she experienced in the session, and you might want to listen to that as well. So enjoy this one too. Bye bye. Okay, I have a couple minutes left. Okay, Heidi, we just had this session. We got some information out of my questions I had prepared for you. We were as well led to a few other information that we're going to share with our listeners. I don't know now, I'm probably going to make a few videos out of that, so it makes little short clips. But if you could maybe give us a wrap up, a 1 or 2 minute wrap up about what you just experienced with our attempt to connect with Dolores, and it seems to have worked. But I want to hear you now, as you're in the awake state, what you would have to say or to share with our audience. And do not forget to, if you can, sometimes look into the camera. So
yeah, I know.
Well,
here's the thing is that when I was there, I came up behind her sitting in a chair, so I can only see her back. And I saw other people, not very, maybe about 5 people around her from the back side. So I wanted to kind of go through the front. And as soon as I got to the front, there was this glass in front of us. And there were these very tall, there was probably maybe 2 or 3. I couldn't exactly see them, but I knew they were very tall, and I knew that they were not of human descent. Almost as though they would vibrate this aura, or what we would call an aura, which I don't even know what that would be there, because it doesn't look like what we have here. And I don't want to get into all that right now. And so she was sitting in her chair with her hands crossed, just observing, kind of like this. And she looked at what was holding on to me, next to me. And I believe that whatever this was a future human or future self. And it was like jelly. So some type of, I believe everything is a symbol. So inside of us is kind of turning into a jelly form. It is kind of like a blueprint of what they're creating. There's so much information that came through in this session that my mind was here and here and here. And this party that I was of different nationalities, but very prestigious people. You could see them talking and laughing, and I guarantee that what I saw were a few scientists involved in this, and that's when all the information started coming through. That's a whole nother part. Dolores, on the other hand, she was extremely happy where she's at right now. It's almost as though she's still doing her work there, but on the other side of wherever she's at. And still in the in-between process, but has found her group, who she is with, who was with her when she was here on this planet. But there were some reasons why, and I don't even know if she's ever really had sessions before, maybe a few. But what I could hear through her thoughts is, I understand now why I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to be hypnotized. There are reasons for that on where she's at now in the process of the mission that she was going through and creating all this for many of us to learn. You know, and on how she's extremely happy with all that's being. I mean, in her mind, it was like she's so happy that so many people know about her now and her work, and but at the same time, she has concerns of where is that going, and the thing that she has brought here, she doesn't want that to change in any forms because she has it set to the way she wanted it to be taught, but she's a little bit more open now to other ways. And she says we all have our ways of creating our own sessions and just kind of going with your intuition with a client, and that's okay. But again, she's extremely concerned about the people that are doing the sessions because of how that energy can be influenced with the client. So that's what I was hearing from her and feeling, and many other things that, you know, we can go beyond that part there. But she kept on looking at this structure next to me.
Okay.
And I think that's where she was a little bit, gosh, I wish I would have known about this. Like, why wasn't this? And I think even in some of her sessions, there might have been some information that was told but maybe never released, it seemed like. And I don't know the reason for that. But
okay, well, we're gonna make it short. That's good. Just a little wrap up. Thank you very much, and thank you for having put yourself in the position to talk or connect with her, because that's touchy. Okay, it's always touchy, especially for the QHHT family. And I will have a little talk, a little speak in a moment about that. But thank you very much, and we will say goodbye.
So I guess all I have to say is that, you know, you're going to have your own thoughts of what you want to believe with all this, and that's fine. Because I know that I'm constantly being judged, and that's fine with me because I know what the information comes through for me. And I'm extremely grateful for the work that Andreas and I do, even as therapists, when we work with our clients. So I just want you to take into, you know, watch it, whatever you watched in this video. Be aware of some things. And you might not like some of the things that are being told, and that's okay. We all have our own beliefs and things that go on within us and what we want to believe. So, but I guess we just want to say thank you for being here and allowing us to share our work to the world.
So here we go. After reviewing the whole video, I decided to make 3 videos out of it. The first one that you just watched basically started with the wrap up of the whole session that you just could watch and listen to, and the last word to the QHHT community from Dolores, talking about what's going on and some words to all the practitioners. From that moment on, I will post another video that is a little longer, and we're actually going to show the whole session in regard to the questions I had regarding QHHT, the event, the New Earth, and the information that came around it. That will be in the next video, probably being released in a couple days. So the third video will be more the part of the session before we actually connected to Dolores. So we were giving some information regarding what's going on right now on the planet. Let's say this COVID-19 crisis. So there is much more and deeper information in regard to that, more hidden. And it seems that this crisis is more a distraction of what's really going on a deeper level. So we got some information. I'm going to share that in the third video.